Hi everyone, the free complete cybersecurity roadmap in PDF is also attached in the descriptions for you to download and print if you want to. Before I ever touched a firewall, I was studying law. I switched into IT and cybersecurity as an immigrant starting over in Germany, with no tech background, no network, and no idea if any of this would actually work out. This is one roadmap, no fluff, no sponsor pushing a course on you, designed for 2026 and 2027, which means AI is already part of the plan. Grab a notebook, let's go step by step for knowing nothing to applying for your first role. Step 1. The foundation nobody wants to hear about. Everyone wants to jump straight to hacking. I get it, but you cannot defend or attack a system you don't understand. So we start with operating system, how Windows and Linux actually manage processes, permissions, and files, because almost every attack you will ever investigate happens inside one of these two systems. Then we will move to networking, and here's where I will save you months. You do not need a full networking career's worth of depth. You need to understand IP addressing, DNS, how the OSI model maps to real traffic, ports, and protocols, and how firewalls sit in that picture. That's it. Learn enough networking to understand security, not enough to become a network engineer, because you don't want to become a network engineer unless that is genuinely where you are heading for. Step 2. Cyber fundamentals. And this part deserves real depth. This is where most beginners underlearn. You need to know attacks, not just define them, but understand them the way an investigator would. Take phishing. Don't just memorize phishing is a fake email. Know the subtypes: spear phishing, smishing, vishing, veiling. Know what a threat actor is actually trying to achieve with each one. Credential theft, malware delivery, or extortion. The difference in intent is exactly the kind of thing interviewers probe for, because it tells them whether you actually understand attacks or just memorize a glossary. Alongside attacks, you will want core concepts. The CIA tried defense in depth, zero trust, encryption basics, and access control models. These come up in almost every entry-level interview I have seen. If this resonated with you, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Step 3. Pick a specialization, but don't overthink it. Cybersecurity isn't one job. It's a whole ecosystem. SOC analyst, penetration tester, GRC analyst, digital forensics investigator, security engineer, cloud security specialist, and more. My honest advice as someone who works in incident response but could pivot into cloud security in a year if I wanted to, don't treat this decision as permanent. Pick the direction that sounds most interesting right now, dig in, and give yourself permission to pivot later once you have real experience. What matters more than picking the perfect domain is picking one at all, because a specialized roadmap beats a generic one every time. One honest caveat: the more niche your chosen path, the harder your first job hunt will be. The overwhelming majority of entry-level openings cluster around SOC analyst, junior penetration tester, and junior GRC analyst roles. If your dream is something more specialized, say threat intelligence or red teaming, treat one of these three as your entry point. Build a real experience, then move sideways into your niche, the one that you really like. Step 4. Follow the specialized skill set for your path. Quick tour, so you know what you are signing for. SOC analyst, incident response. This is investigating and containing security incidents. You will need SIEM fundamentals, log analysis, alert triage, the meter attack framework, EDR tools, threat intelligence basics, and foundational malware analysis. Penetration testing and application security. This is ethical hacking with a report at the end of it. You will need a web application fundamentals, Burp Suite, the OWASP Top 10, and I will flag something important here. OWASP released a major update to that list in late 2025, the first since 2021. Security misconfiguration jumped from 5th place all the way to the 2nd, and 2 brand new categories appeared: software supply chain failures and mishandling of exceptional conditions. If you're studying application security right now, make sure whatever course you're using reflects this update, because a lot of free content online is still teaching the outdated 2021 list. Beyond that, you will want vulnerability assessment, exploitation basics, and genuinely important reporting and documentation, because your findings are worthless to a company if you can't explain them clearly. GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. Less hands-on hacking, more risk assessment frameworks and policy work. You will want a risk management fundamentals, ISO 27001, and familiarity with major compliance frameworks relevant to your target industry. Digital forensics. Closely tied to incident response, you will need Windows forensics, file system fundamentals, memory forensics, and timeline analysis. Essentially, reconstructing what happened on a compromised system minute by minute. Security engineer and architecture. The people who design and build the defenses everyone else uses. Identify and access management, security architecture, automation, scripting, and DevOps fundamentals. Cloud security, arguably the fastest growing lane right now. You need both cloud fundamentals and security fundamentals layered together. AWS and Azure basics, cloud IAM, cloud logging and monitoring, and container security. Practical tip, both AWS and Azure offer free tier access, so you can build real hands-on experience without spending anything. Step 5. Build a lab portfolio, because certificates alone don't get you hired. This is where I will be blunt. You can list every skill from this video on your CV and it still won't be enough without proof. Set up labs. Try HackMe, Hack-the-Box, or your own home lab on a virtual machine and document them properly. For each lab, what you built, what tools you used, what you learned, and screenshots of the results. Put this on GitHub, Notion, or a simple personal site. This single habit is often the difference between a CV that gets ignored and one that gets a callback, because it proves you can actually do the thing, not just describe it. Please drop a comment and share which areas or job are you looking for to specialize for after liking and subscribing. Step 6. The differentiators. Once your fundamentals are solid, 3 things constantly separate candidates who get hired from candidates who don't. Capture the flag competitions, exploring bug bounty programs, not necessarily to earn money, but to build real-world skill. And writing publicly about what you're learning, even informally on a blog or LinkedIn. Do these after your fundamentals are in place, not instead of them. I see too many beginners jump straight into CTFS without the underlying knowledge to actually learn from them. Step 7. Job preparation. Update your CV and LinkedIn with everything you have built. Know your CV cold. If it is on the page, you need to be able to explain it in the interview. Practice behavioral questions using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result, or problem, resolution, and the impact, or whatever you achieved. And practice scenario-based technical questions, because interviewers increasingly test whether you can reason through an incident, not just recite a definition. If you see files getting encrypted across a network, can you connect that to ransomware and explain your next move? That kind of applied thinking is what gets offers. I have a full video talking about entry-level interview preparations, and the link is above or in the descriptions below. Step 8. Actually apply to both internships and full roles. Apply to both because internships convert to full-time roles more often than people expect. And even when they don't, they give you real experience and real connections. Tailor your CV to each job description rather than mass applying with one generic version, and request referrals everywhere you can. They meaningfully improve your odds or even reaching an interview. Now, where does AI actually fit in all of this? AI isn't a separate certification you go to collect, it's a skill layered on top of your specialization. If you're heading into SOC work, learn how AI tools assist with alert triage and initial investigation. If you are in penetration testing, learn how AI can help automate parts of your workflow and reporting. And regardless of your path, understanding the emerging AI-specific attack surface, things like prompt injection against AI AI systems, because this is increasingly showing up in interview as companies adopt AI tool internally. One honest timeline note: if you're starting from zero, no operating systems, no networking background, a realistic, unrushed timeline to your first application is around 6 to 12 months, based on your availability and free time, of course. If you already have some of that foundation from a degree or prior IT work, you will move faster. This isn't a race. Rushing tends to produce candidates who can talk about cybersecurity but can't actually reason through it. And that gap always shows up in interviews. That is the full roadmap. The free printable PDF is also attached in the descriptions below. No shortcuts, no sponsor pushing you toward a course you don't need. If this helped you get some clarity, subscribe, because I am building out full deep dive videos for every specialization I mentioned today. Drop a comment telling me which path you are leaning toward: SOC, pen testing, cloud, GRC, and I will prioritize that video next. See you in the next one. Bye.